Because you know what? God can change anybody. We have seen it across the country. All right, we are in the kitchen once again with our kitchen couples. We have Eric and Kara and Mike and Diane.
Come on. It's always good stuff with Dr. Mike, isn't it?
It is.
On the beach. And so I love the story about sugar. What a great illustration, eh?
Sugar.
You know, showing how we can get kind of paralyzed by our past, creating feelings of these helplessness and hopelessness. But it doesn't have to be that. And Dr. Mike gives us a glimmer of hope there for anyone who might be stuck in a situation like that. What do you guys think?
For me, it made me think about our faith, right? Because I think when our faith comes in, faith is knowing not what the future holds, but knowing who holds our future, right? And so I thought that was a very cool way to look at it, right? Because sometimes we just get so paralyzed at just being stuck and feeling helpless. But if we keep our focus on God, you know, who holds our future, that's all we need to worry about because He is in control of all things.
Good.
Some of the sayings that you remember from old, mind over matter. So I don't mind, so it really don't matter. So you know, when we thinking about this and how you process, for me, one of the things that, you know, I used to kind of think of when I was, you know, kind of in a situation that there's nothing that God and I together cannot do, right? And so if it doesn't get done, it wasn't supposed to be, right? And so, you know, in this kind of situation, I think we get overwhelmed with the feelings part of it, and it really, the feelings as emotions, as we've been talking about today, are what overwhelm us. And if we can get beyond the feelings, right, and begin to talk about simple things, right? You know, I got just a small God and I. There's nothing that we can't do together, right? If we're together, and again, as we talked about a little bit earlier, simplifying things, right? And so, if we can pull back, right, and get through the day. Right, and make it to the next day, and then the next day, if I can be a little bit more positive today than I was yesterday, right? If I can help somebody else, right, it also then influences me. It makes me feel, when I am helping someone else, right, it makes me feel better, right? And then if you can get to the movement of actually helping your spouse or working alongside of your spouse and having those goals, that's what's, I think,
I love that, Mike, because so often, like what you said, our feelings can be that big purple chair. Like our feelings can hold us hostage in a certain situation where we feel helplessness because we're just focusing on how we feel in the moment instead of, like Dr. Mike said, greater is He who's in me. I don't have to look at this when I've got the power of God at work in me and in my disposal.
Optimism, and knowing that solid foundation. And that's excellent.
That's good.
Guys.
Yeah, we're always definitely striving to be in good rhythm with each other. When communication is good, needs are being met, expectations are being met. But I feel like a part of the helplessness can come when you get out of that rhythm, but the other person hasn't quite noticed yet. And so then you're kind of feeling, how do I bring this up to them, or should I even bring it up to them because maybe I'm the one that's going to bring us down. So then maybe I know we're out of sync right now, but so it's how you kind of feel helpless, and you're just like, I don't know how to do that. So maybe I'm just going to live in this helplessness and move forward that way. But yeah, the strength definitely comes when you can someone says, we are not doing as good as you think we are. We need to get some help. I think there's strength in that to be bold and courageous enough to say that.
Yeah, I think there is strength in a community, reaching out to those who have been there, done that, walked it, or if you are in a rut, maybe it's something you've been struggling with. Sorry.
Yeah, you good.
for a very long time. And you do need a professional to kind of help you guys in creating a healthy and whole relationship. And I think the most important thing, though, is beginning with prayer, because faith as small as a mustard seed can move mountains, and we are not held captive to the bad patterns in our life and in our marriage, and it could feel that way, but I think it's important to know, again, that He is stronger than it all, and we are not stuck in this rut, and there is hope for us. And prayer changes atmospheres, prayer changes relationships, prayer changes strongholds. And I think when we remember that we belong to God, He is rooting for our marriage. He has purpose in our marriage and for our family, and when we stand firm on that, I think that's where we get the power and the courage to keep going, because sometimes it's easy to give up when you're right in the thick of it, when you feel like you've taken on all the mental load, when you feel like you're a solo parent even though you're married, when your spouse is dealing with addiction and you don't know how to help them, and there's just different strongholds on either us or or individually. I think that's where you say, God, we need you, because prayer changes things, and we trust in that.
So good.
My wife right
That
there.
is so
All right. And just to piggyback on that
Yeah.
real quick, I think it's also important that we don't give up on something just because of the length of time it's going to take us to get there.
That's good.
Because everything is in God's timing.
That's right.
Not our timing.
Absolutely. Okay,
Yeah.
so do you want to say something?
Well,
Because I
was
got
gonna
something to say.
Tara, you talked about these ruts that we can get into, and I've heard the definition of a rut is just a grave with the ends knocked out. It's like you get into these patterns, and you're just kind of stuck, and you can't get out, but you stay there because you're, as Dr. Mike was saying, your leash is underneath that purple chair, and you don't think you have the power, but he says you must challenge those pessimistic thoughts with the optimism based on God's word and who He is. And let God's truth be the fuel for that optimism.
You don't have to stay in that rut. If you're feeling helpless. Okay, so Eric and Kara have 3 kids, and we've babysat them, quite a bit off and on. And your 3-year-old daughter, Gracie, loves the movie Frozen. Okay, who doesn't love the movie Frozen? We all love it. I have watched or listened to that movie more times than I care to count, just because Gracie loves it so much. But there's one song in that movie that, while it sounds on the surface, it sounds really good, there's one line in it that really bugs me. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just putting it out there right now.
Frozen is now banned in our household.
Let it go, just let it go. I should sing that.
That's good. Yeah.
Hopefully Disney's not watching right now. We'll get some emails.
What is the line?
Okay, so when Kristoff and Sven's the reindeer and Kristoff. Yeah. Okay, so they go to visit Kristoff's family, the love experts. Okay, and they break out into song, and it's the fixer-upper song. He's a bit of a fixer-upper, whatever.
They're all rocks that
and they're
come
all
to life,
rocks, and it's a cute song, and I love it. And Gracie and I are singing along to this song, and there's 2 lines. Okay, it starts with this. It says, "We aren't saying that you can change him." And which is true.
Right.
Nobody can change anybody. We can't change, right? Only God can. Right. But then the last part of that phrase, they say, because people don't really change. And that bugs me, because you know what? God can change anybody. We have seen it across the country. We have heard from you watching a Better Us, have emailed us, have written into us, saying God is doing something in our marriage. He is changing us from the inside out. So the point is that even if you feel stuck in a rut, in the wintertime, we're driving on the icy roads, and you know how the tires get into these icy ruts, and you can't really get out of them because they're just frozen in that. And does that mean all winter long we're going to be driving in these icy ruts? No.
And you're driving in fear.
Yeah.
You're feeling frozen too.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. But no, you don't have to be stuck, because a process begins. The salt truck comes and puts salt and starts melting. And then the snowplow comes and brushes away the ice. The point is to get out of that rut you feel like you're stuck in, that you can't change from. you have to invite the process to begin. And by doing that, you have to invite God into your life and surrender your heart to him and say, Jesus, I need you. Because the way we're going right now, people, get into habits, they get into addictions, like Kara said, cigarettes or pornography, or just habits like a bent. I'm just naturally lazy, or I'm just naturally super sensitive. Or you don't have to stay that way, as you realize that it's a learned helplessness, but you don't have to be helpless. Invite God's power to work in you, and things will change.
And seasons change.
Good.
Exactly.
That's it,
Yeah.
Unless you're Sugar the dog. Sugar the dog
Well,
should still learn that lesson.
She needs to learn some lessons. Yeah.
That's good. There's always hope, as we usually end each program in the wrap of the of our program. With God, there's always hope to become a better us. So it's been a great discussion, guys.
Thanks, guys.
That's awesome.
All right.
But don't you go anywhere, because there is more better us to come.
Hey friends, we really hope you're enjoying the marriage conversations here on our A Better Us YouTube channel.
We have hundreds of more helpful marriage videos designed to give you hope and tools to make your marriage even better.
Right. And you can see just a few options we think you might like here and here. So keep exploring.
Oh, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here so you don't miss out on all the great marriage help we have coming your way all the time.